Alright, so let's start with the easy one. Okay, so we're going to cut 2 3.5-inch squares. So let's fold this in half and pause. Okay, 3.5-inch squares, 3.5. And 3.5. And we're finished cutting that one. So now let's go to the background fabric, 3.5, 6, 3.5, and cut to 4.5. So this is the background fabric. Let's see how wide they cut this. So they've cut this at 5 inches. Let me just back a little bit. So what we'll do, it says to cut to 4.5. So let's do this. We're going to cut it right there. I'm going to flip this over and cut 4.5. How many we need those? 2. There's 1, 2, 4.5, 4.5. Okay, so we've got that. So now let's do 3.5. We got to get 6 of those. So we'll do 2 at a time. 2. 4. 6. Oh, we have some extra there. 3.5. So now we're going to cut all these. I know I'm brave. Crazy girl. Do them all at one time. Okay. 3.5. We're going for 3.5. And these will go in my scraps. So 3.5 there. So now we're going to do the same thing with the dark. Yeah. Okay. We'll make our straight cut first. And we need 4.5, 2 4.5 ones. So get this at 4.5. And this at 4.5. Okay. Now 3.5s. 3.5s. Match that up there. Down here. 3.5 right there. There's 2. 4. And 6. Again, put these on top of each other. I do these like these, do these all together. You could do them individually if you want to, but I feel comfortable doing this. And 3.5 and 3.5, and let's cut off the excess. That goes away over there. There we are. all cut now. Okay, let's go to the sewing table. Okay, so the first thing it says, place a background and a dark 4.5 square right sides together. So put these to the side. And then it says, draw a line diagonally. So we'll draw a line diagonally on both of these. Draw a line diagonally? Sure. Let's get a ruler. Helps if I have a ruler. Okay. Yeah, that won't be long enough. Okay. Scroll. Draw a line. Okay, we draw a line there. And a line here. So it didn't snow today like it was supposed to, but that is okay because I don't want it to snow on me anymore. Okay, so those blocks, there's going to be 4 of those once we cut, take them, sew them, and that's going to be for this block here, or this piece right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what we're working on right now. Okay, so let's do this and move this around so you could see. There we go. Right on that line. Same thing with this one. Whoops. Okay. And 1/4 inch. Okay, now let's do the other side. Whoops. Okay. Off we go. We are getting there. Okay, now let's get the other one. These seem to be very easy to do blocks. Okay, so there we go. Now we're going to cut them in half. So right down that line. Get that out of the way so you can see. It's 1, 2. Oops, I have that upside down. Cut right there on the line that we drew. There we go. All right, let's go to the ironing table. Oh no, you know what? We're gonna do, well, those are the only diagonals we have to do. Okay, let's go to the ironing board. Okay, so set the seam, and we're going to press to the dark side. Right, there we go. 1, set the seam, press to the dark side, set the seam, press to the dark side. Isn't this fun? Set the seam and press to the dark side. Okay, let's go square this up now. Okay, so the pattern now says to cut on a line and press seam to dark side, which we did. Now it'll make 4 half square triangles, and they need to measure 3.5. So you can use your little square ruler, put the 3.5 right there and the 3.5 right there, and we're going to trim off that part. And okay, and because I have this on my turning mat, I'm just going to turn the mat the opposite way. Line up that 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, and then cut this. Okay. Now if you have the Deb Tucker ruler, you can use the wing clipper. I don't know if you could see that. 3.5, 3.5. So, and you've got this line right here that you can line up right on the seam. So you could see, I'm going to take this over here so you could see 3.5 is right there. There's a line right there. 3.5 right there. Okay, let's see. Oh, maybe I could put that right there. Let's try not to knock you over. Okay. So, again, I'm going to line it up with that line there. And if I did this right, let me just turn this, my 3.5 here, line it up on the seam right there, line up the 3.5 there. It should meet there, and it does. So we're going to do that with the other 2. I love these Civil War colors. They're so pretty. One of these days I'm going to do some research on why those colors and why the patterns. I'm very interested to see why they came and how they came about. But that'll be another day. Okay, oops. Let's turn this. 3.5 up there, 3.5 down here, 3.5 right there. Let's get that right on the line and trim it up. So, as you remember, the other pieces that we cut were 3.5. So now we're going to set this up. So let's see. This is going to go like that. This is going to go like that. Oops, get this out of the way. Nope. So you can see it. Let's take this out of the way. 3.5. It's going to go like that. And this is going to go, oh, right here. Right here and right here. Let's get those other pieces. So it looks like this piece is going to go, nope, not there. It's going to go, get this right. Let's put the white ones down. A white one, another white one here, or background color, I should say. Background color. And then this will go there. This will go here. I know, I'm not doing it in very good order for you, am I? That goes there. And then let's get those whites where they need to be. There's going to be a white one here and a white one here. We're going to have the other colored one up here, or colored one, medium colored. So white, white, and then this is directional, so you might want to be sure that if you want it opposite, I don't know if you can see right here, the pattern is going up and down, whereas these are going side to side. So to make it cohesive, I will make them go the same way. So the same thing is going to happen down here. So see how I have them going that way? They're going side to side, and this one's going up and down. So I need to make sure this one goes up and down because I don't think I can change the way I can't change the way. If I would have thought about that, I would have sewn them probably the same, so everything went that way, the pattern, but it's going this way and then up and down here. So we put a dark one here, and let's see, a dark one here, and let's see, what else do we have? A dark, and then it says a light. So that's going to be our pattern. So we're going to sew this to this, this to this, this to this, this to this, and then those two pieces together, and we'll come up with this block. All right, let's go over to the sewing machine. So I decided that I'm going to take them all over there so I can sew them all at once. So I'll just pin them on the side I need to sew, and then come back over here, iron them. At least I'll have these ready to sew. This is just what I'm going to do. You can do it differently if you want to. But this makes sense for me. Okay. I don't even know if I had that in the camera. Here we go. Last row. Oh, gotta make sure they were facing each other. Almost did that wrong. Make sure I didn't do that over there. Oops, yeah, this goes like that. Okay. Now we'll go over to the sewing machine. Sew all these together in order. Let's go over here. And we're done with that marking pin. And it's nice. Okay, let's see if we can do this. 4-inch seams on all of them. will be the bottom row. Sometimes this machine just wants to grab the fabric and keep it in one place. I like when it does that. Okay. So it makes it a lot easier when you strip piece these little squares, and since they're all the same size, no problema. Coming together real fast. And I don't know about you, but every once in a while I lose sight of what I'm doing, and sometimes I veer off right here. So I have to make a conscious effort to keep this right here, like the seam, not the seam, the raw edge right there, because otherwise you're not going to have a nice square or straight stitch. Okay. Let's get these little babies out. Clip. See how fast that goes when you strip piece. The next thing we're going to do is go iron these. Okay, let's go to the ironing board. Okay, so I'm working on getting these so that I can iron them properly, so that when we sew the rows together that they nest. So the first thing I have to do now is sew this to this, this to this, this to this, and this to this. Okay, let's go to the sewing table. Okay, so let's sew those rows together, and we're going to strip piece these two as well. I love this foot. It makes it so easy to make sure I have that 1/4 inch there. I think every manufacturer of sewing machines has some type of 1/4 inch foot. Check with your manufacturer. But this was actually a universal one, so that I bought on Amazon, and it was what I needed for the brother. So I use it now on this little pace setter that I sew on. Oops. See what happens when I talk. Anyway, I can use it on my big brother and this one. All right, so lift that up. Now let's trim these. And let's go back and then figure out which way we're gonna iron them. Okay, so we have all the rows now sewn. Now we got to sew them together, but before we do that, we've got to press these seams so that we can match them up here. So what I'm going to do is on this one, I'm going to sew up. So I'm going to iron all the seams that way. This one that way, this one that way, and the bottom one that way. So let's go take a look at that. Okay, here we go. So Because there's bulk there. I wonder what it's going to be like. I'm going to iron everything going this way, that way. Okay. So we got, actually that was the top one. So when we look at this one, we want to make sure that we iron them the opposite way of that. So in that case, they're going to go that way. So when I sew them together, we'll be able to, what is that called? Make the seams here. 8. Okay. So again, this will go right here, and the seams will fit like that. And that's what we want them to do so that it looks nice. So we're going to do the next row. So we'll put this like that, so we know which way they're going. This is going to go there, so seam is going that way, so we're going to go that way. There we go. So we know that that's opposite. So now this has to be opposite of that. So that means everything's going to go this way. Did I do that right? No, wait a second. That was there, that one's there. Oh, that one's there. Oh, this one didn't go. That's why. Okay. So now we can pin these together or clip them together. These will go right here and match those together. And that. It's 2 rows, so now these, because remember, don't sew them the wrong way. Let's see. So we're going to sew these together, so this is going to go like on the top. We're going to clip them so that the seams match. Okay, I'm trying to think of the word. I'm going blank. Going blank. What is that called? Someone tell me. What is that called? Ooh, there's a pucker there. Why is there a pucker there? Let's see. I might have pinned it wrong or clipped it wrong. Anyway. Okay. Let's go to the sewing machine. Okay. Back at the sewing machine. This over just a little bit. All right, let's sew these rows together. Ready, set, go. Race you. Oh wait, you're just watching. No race. Just make sure you're sewing a straight 1/4 inch and that you're ironing is nice and flat. I always hate this because look at how this does this. I'm going to show you. Right there. Oh, I could do it with this. Right there. Always when you iron, so I always have to lift up my, and then put it back down so it catches it. Okay. That's my problem. You guys might not have that, but I do. Whenever that seam is ironed that way. Okay. Alright. There's that row, those 2 rows. And hopefully I pin these right. And I won't have to undo them because I'm notorious for sewing them upside down because I'm not paying attention very good. Okay. So here's one of those seams again where it gets caught right there. So sometimes I just would go really slow. That, and there we go. Okay, almost done. Now we've got to, let's go over here to the setup. All right, so remember that this print was on the top. Yep. Oh, sometimes when you, okay, that looks pretty good. That one's off just a little bit. I'm not going to worry about it. It's not going to be in the... Okay. So then this is going to go like this. Same thing here. Oh, those look good. That looks good. So now, we did this right. When we flip this over, one seam will be going that way and one seam will be going that way. Let's see. And nope. I didn't do that right. Let me make sure. Oh. Nope. Look it. I did it wrong. I did sew it wrong. Can you see what I did wrong on the bottom? I sewed this seam wrong. This should be up here, so told you I do that. Yeah, this is all upside down. So this actually, this should be this here. That's the way that should be. But it also should have this over there. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, how many of you caught that? I sewed this to this. That's where I went wrong. This is supposed to be like this. So this, these two are the ones I'm supposed to sew together. All right, let's go to the sewing machine. All right. So how many of you caught that? Do you remember I was trying to make sure that when I ironed the seams that one would go this way, one would go that way, one would go this way, and one would go that way? Well, when I put these together like this to try to sew them, they were, oh, never mind. Disqualified. Okay, now it's time to do these together. What we did before. Match these seams. Match these seams. These are going to be a little bit off, I think. Yes. And this seam here. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, let's see if I did this right. Yay! I did it right. Now all I have to do is go iron it. And that is Block 11, Road to Oklahoma. Okay, one more block and we'll be done and be able to put this together. Okay, Chris, I'll talk to you later. And for anybody else that's watching, thanks for watching. Bye. Here are the blocks so far that we've got done. One more to go. Which one is your favorite? I'm gonna have to go look up what they're all. This is the one we just did. Okay.